Hello everyone, my name is Dylan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are by my books again, and we're doing my May TBR. I'm going to be doing this every month. My monthly TBR videos are just going to be the books that I hopefully will read and I want to read. I don't know about half of these books, to be honest, what they're about, so I'll probably read the synopsis. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate my luscious plants that they're thriving. They are literally thriving. Anyways, we are going to start off with what is a 3-book series, but I don't have the third book. It is the Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. This is the fine print, which is the first book, and then this is Terms and Conditions, which is the second book. I'll read you the synopsis, but basically, I've been wanting to read these for a while. I don't have the final offer. I don't think I'll buy it until I finish these books because I think I might have to put myself on a book ban. Okay, I love interrupting my own videos, it's great, but an update, I did actually put myself on a book ban. It's been 5 days, it's the 5th of May, and it's alright, okay? I just gotta remember, I've got other books on my shelf, I just gotta remember that, but I really want to read the final offer. I've already finished Terms and Conditions, which is the second book. I've read the first book, so it's difficult, but you know what? I gotta deal with it. So, because it's getting like, it's not getting bad, but I need to stop, you know? I probably won't. Okay, so for the fine print, the synopsis says, Rowan, like that, I'm in the business of creating fairy tales, production companies, 5-star hotels, theme parks, everything that can be mine if I renovate Dreamland. Hiring Zara was a great plan until they fell for her. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, not when we're destined to ruin them. And then Zara's little heading thingy says, after submitting a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch, I had to work for the most difficult boss I'd ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care, at least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not us. So, these are the first 2 books. So, just so you know, my monthly TBRs are never going to be in a specific order unless I literally have to read something. So, that's what I'm going to talk to you about next, which is Lessons in Chemistry. I am actually going to do my English reading response for an assessment this year on this. I have to get it approved though, but basically it's all about empowering women in the 1960s. I'll just read the synopsis because I'm really bad at explaining books, I will say that, but this is the first book that I have to read and I'm excited to read it. I will, but anytime I associate books with school, it's not my favorite. Anyways, chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing. But it's the early 1960s and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute take a very unscientific view of equality, except for one, Calvin Evans, the lonely, brilliant Nobel Prize-nominated grudge holder who falls in love with, of all things, her mind. True chemistry results. But like science, life is unpredictable, which is why a few years later, Elizabeth Zott finds herself not only a single mother, but the reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show, Supper at 6. Elizabeth's unusual approach to cooking, in parentheses, combine 1 tablespoon acetic acid with a pinch of sodium chloride, proves revolutionary. But as her following grows, not everyone is happy, because as it turns out, Elizabeth Zott isn't just teaching women to cook, she's daring them to change the status quo. Badass. Anyways, I'm very excited to read this. I've heard such good things about it. That's the first book that I will be reading this month. The rest, no particular order. Next, we have the first fantasy book of the month, which is Last Violent Call by Chloe Gong. This, I believe, takes place between, actually I have the books here. So these are all Chloe Gong's books that I have that are out. I I believe it takes place in the timeline before Foul Lady Fortune happens and after Our Violin Ends, which is the second book to These Violent Delights. And I'm really trying my best not to get like the building in the background, but basically there's two novellas in Last Violent Call, and I believe both of them actually take place right after Foul Lady Fortune, not before. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, so there's two novellas, I believe, in this book, and one is called A Foul Thing, and then the second one is This Foul Murder. Very excited to read this. I've been wanting to read this for a while. It's just literally been sitting on my TBR ever since I ordered it, and it came in. So I'm excited to read this. Now, I also have a thriller mystery. This is called A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. I have heard some really good things about her writing, but I've also heard very mixed reviews. So I'm really excited to read this. I actually bought this off Book of the Month. But basically, this book is kind of about 6 teenage girls went missing when she was younger, and then her dad was actually convicted of doing the crimes, and so now he's in jail. But then she grows up and then the same thing is happening, and then she is trying to figure out why this is happening. She's trying to solve this missing girl's case. I haven't read a good thriller in a while, and I really hope this is something good, to be honest. The next on my TBR is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This was like very highly praised. Like, I had this and then all of a sudden it went viral. Not viral, but like it went really popular. I'm just gonna read the synopsis. But two kids meet in a hospital gaming room in 1987. One is visiting her sister, the other is recovering from a car crash. The days and months are long there. Their love of video games becomes a shared world of joy, escape, and fierce competition. But all too soon, that time is over. Fades from view. When the pair spot each other 8 years later in a crowded train station, they are catapulted back to that moment. The spark is immediate, and together they get to work on what they love, making games to delight, challenge, and immerse players, finding an intimacy in digital worlds that eludes them in their real lives. Their collaborations make them superstars. This is the story of the perfect worlds Sadie and Sam build, the imperfect world they live in, and of everything that comes after success: money, fame, duplicity, tragedy. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow takes us on a dazzling, imaginative quest as it examines the nature of identity, creativity, disability, failure, the redemptive possibilities in play, and above all, our need to connect, to be loved, and to love. I'm very excited to read this just because it went really popular and apparently it's really good, even though I literally have had this on my shelf since August last year. I got this for my last birthday. I don't think that's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine, right? Okay. Just so you know, before I continue, all of these books are physical books because I'm currently participating in a challenge which starts tomorrow, May 1st, which is called Read My TBR Shelf. And it was created by Sarah, the lovely Sarah on Bookstagram. Put her tag literally right here. But basically, it's in order to minimize how many books you have on your physical TBR. And I think it's an amazing way. You can implement book bans and stuff like that. There's a whole group chat. It's so fun to talk to everyone, to make friends, and I love it. I've got book rates off there already, and I think it's just something that I've been needing for a while. Even though my TBR isn't too long, I want to make sure it does not get too long. So I'm very excited for this challenge, and that's why the next book is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is probably one of the most popular books on, I guess, like the Bookstagram that I have on my feed. I've heard such great things about this book. Lynn Painter, I've heard that a lot of her books are really great, especially this book, and then also The Love Wager. I believe it hasn't come out like not too long ago, and I've literally heard so many great things, and I'm so excited to read this and then read the second one, which is The Do-Over, and then I'm gonna read probably all her other books. This book, The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, is actually part of another YouTube video that I'm doing, including some books that are on the way, like being shipped right now. I'm very nervous about this book. All Eden wants is to rewind the clock, to live that day again. She would do everything differently, not laugh at his jokes or ignore the way he was looking at her that night. And she would definitely lock her bedroom door. But Eden can't turn back time, so she buries the truth along with the girl she used to be. She pretends she doesn't need friends, doesn't need love, doesn't need justice. But as her world unravels, one thing becomes clear. The only person who can save Eden is Eden. I've heard that a lot of people cried at this book. And that's a hint to the next video. Okay, that's a hint, but that is the biggest hint that I've ever given in my life. And then the next few books, 2 of them I'm not going to say anything about, but one of them all of these I'm waiting on. So I'm waiting on 3 books to come. Basically, one of them is Happy Place by Emily Henry that literally came out a couple days ago, and it is the US version. I wanted the US version because I just like the cover better. Then I also have 2 other books which are also part of the video with The Way I Used to Be, that book, and I'm very excited for that video. I'm very nervous for that video. It's a book video, obviously, but yeah, that was kind of my whole hopeful TBR for May. I'm so excited for my reads this month. I'm so excited for all of those reads. I definitely want to start getting into more fantasy as well. So if you have any fantasy book recs, put them down below. Literally anything. But yeah, that was my May hopefuls TBR. I really hope I actually read them. If you haven't watched my previous video to this one that is uploading, or you're watching right now, it is my April reading wrap up for this month. It's currently April, and I talk a lot about the 14 books that I read this month. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so glad you clicked on this video in the first place. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, comment down below. Comment if you like this video. Comment if you want to see any videos. Comment anything. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.